one niche that sells super well on sites like Etsy or Amazon merch is video game t-shirts, and we're going to show you how to design one in Kittl right now. So let's get started. All right, to get started, we're going to look at some phrases over here. So we've got like game over, 100%. These are just a bunch of gaming words, slogans, key phrases that gamers use. And we are going to outline or basically trace an illustration. And what we're going to do for that is a controller. So we're basically going to use the silhouette of a controller and fill in the shape with the words. I think this would be a really cool idea, and that way you're just providing the concept of a controller. You're not actually going to use the illustration of the controller. We're going to make the words look exactly like it, which I think is going to be super cool, and I've seen a couple of ideas like this before. Now, let's set the opacity of this controller super low. Again, we're going to lock this so we don't move it around because, again, we're just using it as the silhouette. We're just going to put words in here. So let's find some words we're going to use. Let's go with game over to begin with. I'm just going to copy that, hit T to add text. Then I'm going to change the text color to white because I envision this going on darker colored shirts. That's how I'm going to orchestrate this. And here in the D-pad area over on the left, that's what I'm going to morph and distort game over to encompass that shape. So I'm going to use this Pacha font right here because I think it's really cool. I think it's kind of game retro inspired. It's that not super clean, sharp lines. It's a little bit more organic. So when I distort it like this using the distort transformation, it looks a little bit better with the bins and things like that. So as you can see here, I'm just moving around these anchor points to fill in this shape. And I'm going to do this for essentially every single piece of the controller. And you can do things like increasing your letter spacing so that it's a little bit easier and more legible to see. And then I'm just duplicating it, which you can do with Alt or Option and drag. And I'm putting game over, so over there on the bottom. And then all I'm going to do is the same exact technique, hit the distort, and then I'm going to use all these little anchor points to make sure I fill the circle of this D-pad area over here on the left side of the controller. So as you can see, it's already coming together nicely, and you can really get creative with what you are going to fill in. Of course, it doesn't have to be a controller. It could be anything. I mean, it could be, you know, Mario's hat from the game, or it could be one of the level up mushrooms from Mario, or any other game that you like. And you can fill in that silhouette. You can upload an image and just fill out that silhouette, and then you can use the same technique that I'm using here. So for the top parts of this controller that hold the left and right triggers or the left and right buttons, I'm choosing smaller words. So for this one, I'm going to go with 100%. Morph it. Over here, I'm going to do AFK, away from keyboard, and so those are going to be my kind of little levers over there on the top and left that house the left and right trigger. Here in the middle, I am going to go for last man standing. That's going to go right here in the middle, and then I'm going to just distort it to make sure that it kind of falls along the lines of kind of the inset part of the controller. Now, I wasn't able to fit standing in there, but I think last man is fine. It's kind of just, you know, obvious that you would fill in last man standing. So as you can see here, we're doing the same thing with the controller joysticks. I've got in-game there, and then with single player, I'm going to use the circular transformation tool, and then I'm going to make this anchor point go all the way down to the bottom so that it makes this circle that encompasses the in-game text. And then once you see that from a distance, you'll kind of understand, oh, that's the Joy-Con area of the controller. And I'm going to increase the spacing between all the letters to make it go all the way around that, just like this. Hey, real quick, if you're getting value out of this video game t-shirt tutorial, let me know by hitting the thumbs up button, and then comment down below, are you going to be selling some video game t-shirts? And while you're at it, just let me know, what is your favorite video game? I would say that mine right now, at least in the top 3, is God of War. I just recently finished God of War Ragnarok. At the time of recording this video, I think it's so good. Even the classic God of Wars are super good. But curious to know, what's your favorite video game? Let me know down below, and let's get back to the tutorial. So then I can just duplicate it again, Alt or Option and drag, or you can hit Command C and Command V to copy things. Boom, put cooldown over there on the other side with multiplayer. Then I'm going to put PvP mode, all these different gaming words. I'm just going to go and essentially fill in the rest of the space by using the Distort tool. And this is a really cool technique that you can make a variety of products with. It doesn't have to necessarily be a video game t-shirt. It could be really any kind of niche, but I think it really fits this niche super well because there's a lot of games, there's a lot of icons, there's a lot of different type of controllers, there's a lot of different everything that you could fill in silhouettes to make some really creative designs. So now that I've got this ready to go, I'm going to delete the illustration in the back, and then I'm going to delete our full text over there on the side. That was our reference text. And now we've got a nice filled in controller here, and you can make any adjustments that you need to visually now that you see it back from a distance, or any kind of illustration that you've just filled in the silhouette. And I want some arrows to fill the space over here up on the top in the middle of the controller, and then around it on the left and right. So let's type in arrow, and I'm going to look for a more digitized, very sharp, kind of old school progress bar arrow. So if you go to this one right here, this really sharp chevron, we can go and give it those kind of like 8-bit colors, those really neon old retro game colors that I think will fit and be nice contrast on this shirt. They'll really stand out and they'll really be attractive amongst all of the really bright white. And we're going to give it several different colors. Now we can select all of these and hit the tidy tool to make sure all of these are spaced out evenly between each other. And then I'm just going to do a basic triangle. So let's find the basic triangle. I'm gonna scale this down, and I want to fill in the bottom gap there so that it looks like it's a completed progress bar basically. So I'm just going to put this right here, and then you can use the selection points on the left and right to get it to the space that you need it and make sure that it's making sense visually with the rest of the space. And then what I'm going to do is duplicate this several times. I'm going to change the color of each one of these to be those nice bright neon colors. And then what I'm going to do is stagger it. So I'm going to select a couple, delete them, and then I'm going to put some of these chevrons all around in different colors. Kind of reminds me of Galaga a little bit, very video game-esque. And then for the last thing we can do, we can give it some texture to really make it pop. And if we scroll down a little bit, we can go to halftone textures, which I think are super cool. And then we can hit the alpha mask or the multiply blending mode, and then we can lower the opacity, make sure it's clipped to the content, and then you can make some really cool effects. Like if I click this one right here, you can get some really cool effects with the halftones, and this is going to basically apply on any on any color, which is really nice because it's also clipped there to that content. So you can remove the background to make sure that it's exported for your print on demand or whatever you're going to use. And this is our completed video game shirt, completely done in Kittl with the idea of filling in a silhouette. So I hope you have a ton of fun with this tutorial. Now, if you want to see other tutorials using Kittl, I have these videos here on my right that I know you're going to enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any upcoming videos and features and things like that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.